McFarland is knocked away. Auburn wins. Muhammad knocked the ball away, and the Tigers win.
Well, the last time we talked, it was still basketball season for the Tigers and for you now. What has it been like in the week or so since as you've entered your time of retirement?
Well, Andy, it's really just been kind of an opportunity to get some things straightened out, like get my office and moved out of my office and kind of tying up some loose ends there at the university and just kind of decompressing a little bit. Went down to the beach for just a couple of days just to look at the ocean and rest. But it's been good. I still get around town and see people and do my thing here in Auburn, but just an opportunity to just kind of decompress a little bit.
When you think back at your 8th and final season at Auburn, what comes to mind?
I tell you, I think just the first thing that always comes to my mind when I'm talking about basketball is the immediate people that you're surrounded with, the players that you have, and the opportunities that you had to coach them every day and to help make them better players and better students. And that's always the thing that comes first to my mind. And that will always be the first thing as I remember this last and final season here at Auburn. Is just what a great bunch of kids these were. I mean, they're just good kids on and off the floor. Classroom, they did a great job in the classroom. They worked hard every day. They fought hard in the games. Didn't win as many games as we wanted to, but I truly believe that they will in the future. I think they have the potential to be really, really good.
All right, for whoever comes in as the next head coach at Auburn, what will they have? If you have a chance to talk to somebody about this team, what will you tell them about the 2012-2013 season?
Well, first of all, they're just a bunch of quality kids to start with. They shouldn't have any problem with them anywhere outside of the basketball court. They're just good kids. They're fun. They've got great energy. They work hard. And it's just a matter of getting it all on the same page on the same game day and all those pieces coming together, making that puzzle fit on that particular day. So we didn't quite get that this year, but I truly believe they will. I really do. Whether it was youth, whether it was getting used to a new point guard, whether but they'll be a year older, a year wiser, and with that experience and. Hopefully we'll see some really good things out of them.
Spotlight a couple of the young kids for the future. Let's start with Hasina, your lone freshman this year.
Well, there's no question she's got a tremendous future ahead of her. And I thought Hasina just got better and better. In the last month of the season, Hasina's game improved. And she worked very hard outside of the practice court on her pull-up jumper, which is so similar to what we had to do with DeWanna Bonner when Bonner was a freshman. Hasina came in here, she either could go all the way to the basket or she wanted to shoot a three. There was no in-between game. And so we really put a lot of time in with her outside of the practice court trying to work on that game. And I think we saw the benefits of it as the last month of the season in February. So I think that will just continue to get better and better for her. She's a tremendous competitor. And I think you'll just see her game just as she gets stronger, physically stronger in the weight room. And just more confident with her game. She's going to be a heck of a player. Tyrese Tanner is just a player that has all the ability in the world. I think that the biggest thing is for her to settle in on a position, because we work Tyrese at the 4 and then we play her at the 3 and then sometimes she would run the 2. So we just had to do that with her this year. But if she can get settled in on one spot, and really focus on that, I think that's going to help her a whole lot. And Blanche Alverson, what a phenomenal shooter she is, and just a great kid. And I just really enjoyed coaching her for her 3 years here. But she has her range is just so good, just strong, and I know she's going to come into her senior year highly motivated to make that NCAA tournament and to be the best player she can be.
All right, what's next for you? Immediately, what's next for you now?
Gonna do some TV stuff. Gonna do some of this NCAA tournament coming up, and get back on there and start talking about the game a little bit, and then we'll see where that goes.
What will you miss the most about not coaching?
Probably the day-to-day that you have with your staff, because your staff is your family. I mean, you wake up in the morning, you're with them all the time, whether you're in the office or you're traveling or that's your family. It becomes your family and your friends. And then the kids, that energy, them coming in the office, and when they would come up into the office, they weren't coming up there necessarily to talk basketball. They'd poke their head in and go, "Hey, Coach Fortner," and I go, "Hey, come on in, what's going on?" And you can have just conversation about anything else in their life, and I love that part of it, to be a part of a 18 to 22-year-old kid's life and help them with things other than basketball at times was that's special to me.
As you can tell, we're here in Coach Fortner's home. One of the special memories I'll have about your 8 years at Auburn is the first year that the Tigers went to the NCAA tournament before the SEC championship year. And it had been an up and down season. There were a lot of people, a lot of the so-called experts that said Auburn would not get in the tournament, didn't belong in the tournament. And the team, and you invited some folks and some media over in this living room, watching the TV back here, watching the announcement. And Auburn's name went up, and it was just sheer joy. It really was. And there was Todd Van Emps took a great picture of that. But I'll never forget that moment, because that was a moment where Auburn said, "You know what, we do belong.
Right.
We belong in this tournament." And of course, next year went on to win an SEC championship.
Right. That was a fun day, Andy. There's no question, because it was excitement and it was relief, because you're wondering the whole day long. I mean, I remember I was a nervous wreck the whole day. Couldn't even hardly talk. I mean, I remember Meredith Jenkins trying to get a hold of me. I couldn't even talk. I just didn't even want to say anything. I didn't want to jinx anything. I didn't want to, boy, when that name went up, it was a tremendous feeling. But and then the next year, knowing that your name was going to go up, you're just waiting to see where it goes. Two different ways to be in the NCAA tournament, but a lot of fun either way.
That next year, of course, Auburn wins an SEC championship and set the attendance record against Tennessee on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. Well over 12,000. It was standing room only. Folks couldn't find tickets for that game. That was a magical atmosphere that afternoon against Tennessee.
Oh my gosh, there's no question. So I'll never forget it, because of the work that went into getting to that point, and then watching it culminate into that was, I know, just as exciting for you. And that's a neat thing. We've had some good fun times, and I know that was a magical day for both of us, because you've seen a lot of basketball too, Andy, but I'll never forget that. That'll go down as one of my all-time favorite memories.
Many times when you get to that point and you get that big crowd against the big-name opponent in Tennessee, many times you hear about that team doesn't go out and perform well. That wasn't the case that day. Auburn went out and played like the SEC champion that it eventually would be.
Absolutely. Hit some big shots. God, I remember Allie Smalley hit a huge shot. I want to say, like, at the buzzer, falling backwards, or somebody fell on the floor and flipped it back to Allie, and she knocks down a three. I mean, just, oh my God. And seeing the kids just going down the floor, and all excited, and a ton of the students that were there, and after the buzzer went, all the kids going over to the student section and just being so excited. It was an awesome day. Awesome.
How important was it, and how important is it for you to be a part of the community here in Auburn?
It's very important, because it's been important to me for 8 years, and it's something that was a reason that I feel like we've been successful here, is this community, that they reached out, they bought into what we were wanting to accomplish, and they became a part of it. And so to stay here and continue to give to the community and be a part of it isn't. I plan on doing that for as long as I can.
War Eagle, we wish you all the best.
War Eagle, Andy.